Everyone has a story that makes you who you are, teaches you lessons, and that has gotten you to where you are today. It's not the story that makes you a success or a failure. It's what you do with that story. My name is Senour, creator of the Six Figure Stylist, and this is my story. I was born and raised in Brown Deer, Wisconsin. I grew up with 2 loving parents and 3 beautiful sisters. When I was 10 years old, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. She was told she had just 2 months to live, which forced me to grow up super quick and learn to take care of myself. Luckily, the doctors were wrong, and we were blessed to have her for another 5 years, but the battle wasn't easy. It was diagnosis after diagnosis, scary nights in tears, and most of my childhood was spent in hospital rooms just praying for good news or a back room somewhere with my sisters while my parents attended AA meetings. My dad worked his ass off from job to job while taking care of 4 daughters, providing a roof over our heads, and putting food on the table. After years of seeing our lights shut off, bills pile up, and eating government-supplied lunches, I got my first job at the young age of 14. I didn't want my dad to have to support me anymore. Fast forward to my junior year of high school, it was time to make the big decision. The whole, what are you gonna do with your life? I had seen my parents go in and out of jobs, but the biggest one that stood out to me was when my mom owned a bridal dress boutique just before she got diagnosed with cancer. I can remember watching my mom get all fabulous for events, making customers feel confident, modeling in runway shows, and her hair, makeup, nails, and fashion were always on point. This is where my love for the beauty industry all began. After a lot of thought, and maybe not the most supportive school counselors, I decided to go to cosmetology school. And if you know me at all, you know the rest was history. I fell completely in love with the beauty industry and all of its possibilities, and I never looked back. When I graduated cosmetology school, I landed what at the time was my dream job. I was a commissioned stylist, 100% booked out for months, making a comfortable income, and bought my own house all by the age of 23. Wow, you would have thought I had it all. But after 6 years, I got too comfortable. I felt stuck, I was lacking growth, and losing my dad in April of 2017 was the final thing that pushed me over the edge. So, I left everything that was comfortable. I started my own suite, and I was back to square one. I started from nothing, but I had one thing that my dad instilled in me: work ethic. I grinded day in and day out, working the only way I knew how, rushing from one client to the next, skipping lunch breaks, feeling bad for charging my worth, and having 0 work-life boundaries. Until one day, I passed out in the middle of a cafe on a concrete floor and woke up with paramedics around me and a woman screaming, "I can't feel a pulse. I can't feel a pulse." In this moment, I knew something had to change. Don't get me wrong. I knew I still needed to work hard. That was never going to change. But there had to be a better way. For the next year, things looked a lot different, and the growth I saw was something I never even imagined was possible. I was now on my path to open up my very own salon. Opening my commissioned salon, L&Co, was insanely challenging and extremely time-consuming. But after months of blood, sweat, and tears, we officially opened on January 9th, 2020, not knowing that just 2 short months later, on March 19th, 2020, the entire world would come to a screeching halt. For a moment, I was frustrated. I thought, wow, I had just spent my entire career building up to this, and in an instance, gone. But I have this rule with myself. I can use this, or I can let it use me. I saw my friends, family, and team stressed, anxious, applying for unemployment, and living life not knowing if they were going to be able to put food on the table. It brought me right back to my childhood. I had seen this before, but this time it was going to be different. So, the work began. In just a few short weeks, I put my experiences to use and gave this pandemic purpose. I created an online program for hairstylists and my team called the 6-Figure Stylist. It was to give them hope that they will never have to feel this way again, show them what they are capable of, give them a strong community of like-minded stylists, and push them to use this time to come back stronger with a clear game plan for the future. After going through the first session, I was shocked. There were tears, there were breakthroughs, there were major life changes, and a sisterhood formed that can never be broken. Since then, I've taught session after session, seeing success story after success story, which has allowed me to make 6-Figure Stylist what it is today. It's crazy to think that just a year ago, I was teaching my first online Zoom class of only 12 stylists. Today, we are a team of 6, hosting our very first 3-day live event and are helping stylists from all across the world. To be honest, I knew this was going to help stylists, but I truly didn't realize how big of an impact it would be on both them and myself. Like I said in the beginning, it's not the story that makes you a success or a failure. It's what you do with that story.